Hey. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We are continuing our journey of getting to know each other. So I am glad that we are getting together again today. And if you are watching the replay, please do me a favor and put hashtag replay in the comment section so that I can come back and properly greet you. And every time you catch the replay, feel free to do that. All right. All right. So, I am Dr. Ebony L. Trust, founder of the Unbecoming Movement, and today is a good day to have a good day. Yes. Now, as the founder of the Unbecoming Movement, what I get to do is equip leaders to rediscover what they were born to say and do so that they show up in the world purposefully, powerfully, and productively. And again, today, I want to hone in on one section in the world. I shared before that it is your destiny that all the nations of the world be blessed because of you. And I also shared a few days ago that it's crucial that you rediscover what you were born to say and do, because what you were born to say and do are designed to cause transformation within your spheres of influence. So when I talk about showing up, quote, in the world, I'm talking about why and how you show up within those spheres of influence. Because the reality is that you are supposed to show up big in at least one sphere of influence. So now let's define our terms, because I don't want that phrase sphere of influence to trip you up at all. Because I've encountered people who could not fathom that they have a sphere of influence because it sounded too important for little old them. And I've also worked with business owners who limited their spheres of influence because they adhered to conventional wisdom, business wisdom that says you need to niche down. Those are lies that we can debunk another day, but not today. So, what do we mean when we reference a sphere of influence? I love culturestrategyfit.com's definition. They say a leader's sphere of influence refers to the people and things directly or indirectly affected by that leader's action. I'm going to say that one more time. A leader's sphere of influence refers to the people and things directly or indirectly affected by that leader's actions. Quick question for you. Can you think of any people who are directly or indirectly affected by your actions? I'm willing to bet a dozen donuts that you can think of some people. In fact, I bet that when you heard my question, you thought instantly of a name or two or three names, or picture in your head a person or a group of people. That being the truth, when I say that there is a world for you to show up in and for, I'm talking about those people you just thought about. So keep them at the forefront of your thinking during our conversation today. Now, not only does a leader's sphere of influence refer to the people and things directly or indirectly affected by that leader's actions, but they go on to share that the size and scope of that sphere of influence is determined by that leader's role, responsibilities, and relationships. One more time, because I don't want you to miss it. Not only does a leader's sphere of influence refer to the people and things directly or indirectly affected by that leader's actions, but the size and scope of that sphere of influence is determined by that leader's role, responsibilities, and relationships. Think about that for a second. What are you saying, Dr. Evan L? First of all, I'm agreeing with Culture Strategy Fit's definition. Okay. And I'm saying that maybe you haven't shown up in the world the way you know deep inside you can and you should, is because you've misappropriated your influence and your identity. Now, before you accuse me of using the word misappropriation incorrectly, I want you to know that you absolutely can misappropriate a person. That's what identity theft is. Misappropriating a person refers to the unauthorized use of their name, their likeness, their identity, so on and so forth. That's also a definition for becoming, and something we've talked a lot about these last couple of weeks. In every one of our conversations here, I've shared that becoming like someone or like something else is to live a lie. It is identity theft. Anytime you show up in the world saying things like someone else or doing things like someone else, you are misappropriating that person and lying to those in your sphere of influence. And I know that there are widely respected individuals who invite us to misappropriate their identity. They encourage us to be like them, to act like them, to say and do what they say and do. Why? Because they are selling the idea that their success in life can and should be your success in life. And it works. But unfortunately, there are too many people who are misappropriating someone's identity in an effort to adopt another person's destiny. Now, obviously, a major problem with that is that when you are on that path of becoming like that person you paid, or like that person you idolize, or like that person someone told you should be more like, is this: who you be, the real you, never shows up to transform the sphere of influence you were destined to transform. Instead, you wind up trying to make your way in a space, in a sphere that maybe wasn't even made for you. So now that I've made clear that when I say show up in the world, I'm referring to your spheres of influence, let's talk about what some of those spheres are. And I believe that there are 7 broad spheres of influence, and that you are destined to bring transformation within at least one of them. Those 7 spheres are religion, family, arts and entertainment, government, business, excuse me, media, and education. Okay? You got those 7? You are destined to be a blessing in at least one of those spheres. Now, you may have heard them referred to as the 7 mountains of influence. And now, of course, again, those are very broad, right? And there are subcategories within them. So, for example, your sphere of influence may be government. And within that sphere are more specific spheres like local or city government, or state or regional government. Within education, there are different subcategories like higher education, adult education, early learning. We go on and on, right? Because you can break a subcategory down even more and be that much more specific. But the point is this: there is a place for you to show up within your sphere of influence, whether it be religion, family, education, government, business, media, or arts and entertainment. There are people yearning to hear what you were born to say, and who are desperate for the transformation that you were born to bring. Now, let's bring this on home, shall we? The reality is this: in your life right now, there are people and things directly or indirectly affected by your actions. So even if you are wielding your influence accidentally or haphazardly, you're still influencing in some sphere. Whether a whole lot or very little, that level or lack of influence has been determined by you and your action or your inaction. However, we can change it. Now, I know I ask a lot of questions. It's kind of one of the hallmarks of my work with people and teams, right? So, therefore, that I have a question for you, right? You're getting to know me so well. I love it. All right. Based on everything we talked about today, I need to ask you this question: are you correctly and effectively wielding the influence you have? Because unless you are influencing those within the sphere you were born for, you're not really affecting the change you were born to affect. When we talk about unbecoming, it is a life conversation. It covers every sphere. And if you've missed my other broadcasts here, I want to invite you to go back and listen to catch up. The conversations that we're having here are critical. Why? I'm glad you asked. Because any places in your life where you are committing identity theft because you're trying to become like something or like someone else, it's in those same places that you are living a lie. And if right now you are showing up in a sphere of influence because someone else said you should, instead of showing up in the ones you were born for, that is also identity theft. It is living a lie. And it's all part of unbecoming. So I'd like the honor of equipping you to rediscover what you were born to say and do so that you show up in the world for real this time. So if I had to sum up today's unbecoming conversation with one sentence, I reiterate this question. Friend, if you're not bringing lasting and true transformation to those around you, what are you bringing? That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. If you got something out of this, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, do 1, 2, 3, or all 4. This has been Dr. Ebony L. Trust, founder of the Unbecoming Movement, where I get to equip leaders like you to rediscover what they were born to say and do so that they show up in the world purposefully, powerfully, and productively. My question to you today and every day is who you be. And if you don't know or aren't sure because you've always lived your life becoming like someone or something else, then we need to talk soon. I'll see you next time.